So I had a dream, and that dream has been crushed. That dream has been buried. That dream has been put aside for later. And as with most people's dreams, that dream has ended because I had a kid. And I know every parent says that when they have their kids, their dreams not just change, they become better. And that's not what I'm saying here in this video, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. I wanted to build a massive garage in the back of my house, but we're not gonna do that anymore. You see, I bought this house not for the house, but for the property. The house is perfectly fine. It was not my favorite house I looked when we were house shopping. I was single at the time, so I had full choice over the house I got. But I bought this house because it sat on 0.42 acres with a huge backyard. And right before COVID hit, I started to work with a contractor and an engineer to develop plans to build a custom, massive 3-car garage, plus golf simulator, plus weight room, plus office, plus extra bedroom in the backyard. And we finished those plans. However, during the design process, COVID hit, and the contractor I was working with may or may not have run into some legal issues. So there was a delay by the time I finally got the engineering plans. And by the time I got the engineering plans and sent them off for a bid, the estimated projected build cost of this garage went from about $80,000 to over $200,000. And I said, okay, hold up, pause. We ain't gonna do that. So I put the garage build on hold, thinking I'll wait a year or two for prices to come back down and then we'll get to build. But a lot has happened since then. I had a baby boy. I quit my job, which I was running an accounting firm, so I was doing quite well. And so building the garage was perfectly fine in terms of being able to pay for it. Well, when you quit your job and you don't directly replace that income off the bat or at all, you maybe hold off on some huge financial expenditures that you were going to take. Hence, the garage got put on pause for yet another couple years. But now my baby boy has turned 2 and we've started to run and play a lot in the backyard. And all I can think about is as he grows, we're going to want this landscaping, this grass, this green area for activities. And if we build a garage, we're going to lose a lot of that square footage for soccer, for volleyball, for basketball, for golf. We need the grass. We need the green space. That has taken priority over a place to store cars, even though that in of itself is wickedly cool. But here's the catch. I can store my car somewhere else for the time being. And I know we could go to a park, but I'd rather have a huge backyard for activities, putting greens and so forth, and store my cars off-site than to store my cars on-site and have to go to a park and so forth for some of those activities. And that's where having kids changes some of those things that you desire most. I want to play ball with my boy in the backyard for years to come. And baby girl, I think she's going to be a baller. I'm going to do my best to make her a baller, although it's going to be her choice, obviously. So instead of spending $250,000 to build a garage that would have gone right there, I spent $62,000 to totally transform the landscaping of my home, which meant tearing out and redoing the entire front yard and then also building out and doing the landscaping in the backyard. Because when I bought this place, it was all dirt in the backyard. If you recall, we buried a Rolls-Royce limousine back there, James and I did a while ago, and obviously we had to upgrade to not be the eyesore of the neighborhood. So we finally put in landscaping back there. I did a video a while back about the total transformation of the yard and how it cost $62,000 and so forth. So if you're interested, feel free to go back and watch that video. It's still pretty crazy that it costs $62,000 to do landscaping money. Now the question is, what have we been doing since we spent that $62,000, and what are the next plans? Because I've got major plans to spend a lot more money on the landscaping. I just got to find the money first, find the people to do it, and then we'll do it. I might actually do a lot of the landscaping myself. I can't work on cars. I love to drive cars. I love to look at cars. I love to talk about cars, but I can't emotionally work on cars. But what I can do is dig holes and do landscaping. We've got some projects that I'm going to take on in the backyard that I'm pretty excited about. This is going to save us a bunch of money. It's going to turn out, I think, pretty cool. Now, the main focus of the landscaping is first and foremost going to be the grass. I've spent the last 2 years leveling, sanding, putting organic material, overseeding, cutting down, letting it grow back and cutting it down again to try to get like optimal grass in my yard. Perfect for all sorts of activities with perfect grass. Think about a golf course. My goal is to have grass similar, maybe not as good as, but like a golf course. Not the fairway, the first cut. Just really short, half an inch, quarter inch, primo grass. I'm obsessed with grass. I'm obsessed with short, clean, pure grass. Short grass. is where it's at. So yes, we have literally put in tons and tons of pure masonry sand for leveling, organic material for the overseeding and so forth. And here's the one thing that in hindsight, that I would have done differently. My backyard is so big that we tried to attack the whole thing at one time, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure this out as we go. I've had some help, but still, it's a big area to learn on. In hindsight, I would have done a smaller area, tried to perfect the process there, and then attack small areas, because the time it takes, the hours and hours to do the whole backyard and figure it out as you go, it was a lot. There were a lot of things I messed up on. Just trying to do such a big area, I felt like I was always rushing just to do the bare minimum of what we needed to do and not the near level perfection of what I wanted to achieve. That's what I'm going to do going forward. I'm going to start attacking small areas and try to get that perfect. Now, the vision, we've got some spots that need some serious work. As you can see, this back area here, it's fine, it's passable for now, but it's unfinished. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a putting green right here. That's the goal. I need to find time and money, but we're going to build a massive putting green right here. And right here is going to be a sandbox, a massive sandbox for the kids. But obviously the sandbox here is going to double as a bunker to let me practice my bunker shots. Now I'm going to want your thoughts and suggestions down below of anything that I might be missing, but I think putting in the sandbox here, the sand traps, and the green right here will be a nice bookend to my property. And as you can see, the area where we want to put the putting green in is not small. In fact, the putting green I want to build is quite substantial. I need a good place to practice my 30-foot double bogey putts. Now, what to do with this long gravel pit area of worthlessness? I'm picturing a massive, long stream that goes from all the way up by the deck, all the way down here, surrounded by either maybe artificial turf or just green area. I don't know, something to make it look really cool. You get this water feature, and then maybe you do it in a way you can drive the car over the water feature. Again, car guy, I got problems there, but massive water feature here to kind of complement the rest of the space that I have. That's kind of what I have a dream for. I've built streams and waterfalls before, so that is again something that I am fairly capable of tackling myself, with maybe the help of some individuals in terms of like ordering the right materials and so forth, the right size pump and so forth. But like, I can dig holes, I can place rock, I've done it, I can do it again. I mean, picture this, if the green is right where you guys are, 41 paces just on grass. I could keep going and put a mat down and hit even longer shots. Now, the one risk is my neighbors have a camper right behind you guys, so I do not want to hit that. Oh, blade, don't hit the rocks, don't hit the camper. I mean, that would have been a little over the green, but you get the picture. And if I even use foam balls, I can hit bigger shots. I know this has been done, but I have the silly dream to do what everybody else has done, in that once I build this putting green, I have a dream of hitting a hole-in-one, quote unquote, over my house into my putting green. Now, the odds of me breaking a window before I actually got a hole-in-one are pretty high. I'm not Bryson DeChambeau, but I think that would be a fun little challenge. I may not ask my wife's permission to do it, I may just do it, but I will have a window company supplier on order just in case. There would be no putting green or sandbox with the garage. One of those would have to go, and I would lose a lot of this grass area square footage, because the garage that I was going to build would come out to about here. So then I'm only left with a Utah weird shaped area of grass, and that just changes the whole context of what sort of activities and full-on games you can play in the backyard with a weird Utah shaped piece of grass. Now you could say, why not just build a really small garage or a smaller garage? Well, concept still stands. If I build a garage that's small back there, I still don't get a putting green, because we're going to do a sandbox over a putting green, because kids trump parents, as it should be. And then I only have a 1, maybe 2 car garage, which is still a little tight, and it's like, well, it's just a place to store cars then, and not this really cool man cave, awesome, epic, lifetime dream garage. So why not just store my cars off-site at a place that does 1 to 2 car garage storage anyways, and then one day build the massive dream garage that I'd like to have. But right now, I'd just rather play with my kids in the backyard, teach them a little bit about the right way to hit a golf ball. I'd bring in a professional for that, obviously, but this is what family's about. This is what parenthood is about. This is what life is about. It's about spending time with the people, with your kids, if you've got them, the people that you care about, and activities in the back trump staring at the cars for now. We'll stare at the cars somewhere else. Also, just to note, and I assume this is a given, you all know me, I'm gonna have, like, as part of this whole dream backyard, an epic area to grill, to cook pizzas, to do just terrific food. We're gonna be grilling back there. If any of you have suggestions or things that I'm not thinking about, things that you've done that you've really liked, I'd appreciate any ideas and comments down below, because likely we're not going to be able to tackle any of this fall. It's a little late in the year. I need to come up with some money first. So next spring is the goal to actually take this on. And frankly, I don't need money to dig a hole. I got a shovel, I got old man strength. Just start digging. We'll get it done. That is my current dream. And like all dreams, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's set in stone. Who knows what life has in store for me and my family, but that's what we're gonna work for. And I wish you all nothing but the best of luck. I hope you all crush it and are chasing your dreams. Go crush it. Peace. Did I do that right? I don't know if I got that right. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, you get it. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7.